Eeny, meeny, miny, hey, which one should I fix today? Alrighty, pinion seal it is. Welcome back to what can best be described as another episode. We are working on my 96 F-150. I've got to replace the rear pinion seal, and I'm also going to look at the outer pinion bearing because I've got a howling noise on acceleration and on engine braking deceleration, but not when coasting, which generally means it's when the pinion is loaded. So we're going to take a look at it because I'm going to have the seal off and the bearing will come right out. We're not going to be draining it or messing with the inner bearing because, well, it's supposed to rain in like an hour and I don't feel like it. I'm not going to jack it up. You don't need to. I don't need to take the wheels off. The only thing I need to do is drop this drive shaft. If it's a lower to the ground car, yeah, sure, jack it up, do all that stuff, but we don't need to. I just need these to break free, and they're currently not. So I'll get a bigger wrench. Yeah, not moving. That's a good start. All right, I found one really cheap Chinese 12-point that I have apparently beat with a hammer. Hopefully this fits. Probably not. No, it still does. Excellent. Let's try to get this off again. Take 4. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, like I said, this is, fairly easy. It's just 4 bolts, and this comes right off. I almost forgot before we get too crazy. Since technically this whole assembly is balanced, what you're going to want to do is mark where your drive shaft was on the flange. Just some paint marker, paint pen, tire marker, grease pen, whatever you got that's not going to rub off. You take this apart, so when you drop this drive shaft, you can put it back on in the exact same place. That'll work. That's fine. Now, since I'm hoping that this pops right out, I'm going to go ahead and put one of the bolts back in so that it doesn't pop down and hurt the drive shaft or spill my coffee. Really, I'm about my coffee. There we go. Look at that. I thought ahead. Oh, that pinion nut does not look good. Now that I've got the drive shaft out, it might be a good time to tell you that before you take the drive shaft off, make sure you're on a flat surface and you chalk your wheels, because it's not going to matter what gear you're in once you take the drive shaft off. You can look it up on YouTube. There's many videos of people doing this and it just rolls away. But rotted wood, 4x4, flat surface, and you'll be fine. This is not ideal, for sure. Okay, well, PB blaster and, impact. That's going to take care of this. Look at that cool X pattern. Wolverine! Whatever. I mean, now I can at least check all the backlash, which there's a lot of, and this pinion bearing is probably actually maybe in pieces. That's horrible. It's not even rotating, it's just sort of is. This is not good at all. Alright, well, like I said, we may be taking this apart only to decide that we need to do a whole rear end, but we won't be doing that today. 1 1/16. I'm sure there's a metric version of that, but that's going to work. Okay. I really need to get one of those battery-powered impacts. I'm tired of dragging this cord and this giant motor around. By the way, when you take that off, count the turns. That was a lot. Okay. That's good Lord. I mean, come on, man. That's horrible. Now what we're going to do is take a hammer, again, and beat this flange this way. And if you're going to do this the wrong way, which we are, make sure you switch sides, back and forth. Hit different parts of the flange. Also, at the point that you start dripping gear oil, you're going to know 2 things. 1, you have gear oil up to this point. And 2, that you need a catch pan. Today's catch pan is brought to you by Antifreeze. Old coolant jug, nice smaller catch pan, perfect for this job. Flange removed. All right, there you go. See, that's your flange. It's fine. Look how thick that is. You think me hammering on that really hurt that? No, it sure didn't. This is our leaky seal, as you can see. It's leaking, but it was doing this even with the flange on, which was the problem. And right behind here is the outer pinion bearing. There we go. Well, good. I like a headwind. Gear oil tastes great. Okay, well, we definitely have enough fluid in the rear end. There's our seal. Here's our gear oil. All right. Here's the spacer. Oh, see this flat little washer? We're going to need that. That goes back in. Save that. And here is a pinion bearing that is utterly worthless, probably. Well, on the upside, I got it out. On the downside, it doesn't look that bad. This is the outer pinion bearing I just took out. This is our brand new one. And this is the only difference that I've found, is that our outer one is actually quite a bit taller. That could be our play. If this actually needed more shims or has worn down, and there's no preload on this bearing anymore, it would just be floating sort of in and out like this. And it would have backed off that outer race, which would have given us all that side-to-side play. This one's taller, so it should have a better bearing preload, and maybe we're not going to have that side-to-side play anymore. So not the wear I was expecting, but a definite difference. All right, new bearing. Let's try to fix this. We've got our pinion bearing back on there, and we've got to put our shim in, or oil slinger, or whatever that is. I don't really, whatever. You're going to want to clean this surface off. There we go. Uh-huh. Yeah. See how easy that was? I did not mark which way it went this way, which is also probably a mistake. But we do have the paint mark to sort of line us slightly up. We were sort of X-shaped. You know, it was like that-ish. We're gonna go with that. That looks good to me. Now we have room to put this nut back on, and that's gonna pull this flange the rest of the way down, hopefully. And it was at least the plan at this point. Again, smaller impact, better idea. Uh-huh. See how that's bad? Yeah. So keep going. And it's still basically garbage. So today what we've accomplished is really not a lot. We have figured out that the seal's bad, and it's going to go bad again because there's so much play in this, and the outer bearing is now newer, but yet it makes no difference. Let's tighten it more then. That'll help. Actually, that is helping. We're going to tighten it more. Could it be that this backed off, and that's our issue? It certainly could be, because, well, that's nearly good. I mean, I've still got some good, a little bit of backlash. That's fine. Okay, so update to what we've accomplished today. We've fixed our problem. And remember, our red mark here went over to there. So we're going to be close to something like that-ish when it goes back together. So you're putting it into the back of the transmission. Aim for the bushes. There we go. Ta-da. Actually, I think I hit that spline perfect. Something went right. That's always nice. Well, you know, the only thing we really wanted to do here today was get rid of the howl in the rear end, which we now know is probably a wasted inner pinion bearing, which I don't have time for right now. But these have a crush sleeve, and that crush sleeve is there to be, well, crushed, which means, generally speaking, it's a single-use item. You're never going to get back to the same spot. But if you want to go tighter with the crush sleeve, you can. Is it going to fix your problem? Not long term. Is it going to fix it short term? No. So we were able to actually tighten the pinion farther into the outer part of this housing, which means it's farther into the inner race, which means it's not going to wiggle as much. So we have done something partially correctly, but we haven't fixed the problem. We band-aided it. This is a band-aid today. If you're a YouTuber or an aspiring YouTuber, band-aids aren't always a bad thing. Mechanical band-aids, that is. I mean, on your hands, if they get in the way, and you can have owies underneath them, and that's not good. But mechanical band-aids, that just means that you've got something to come back and revisit in another video, or another episode, or give an update, or something like that. Oh, and we've lost about a pint of fluid that we're going to have to refill. And note to future self, make sure there's a lid on this, because it didn't really do that much after it got to this point. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Put all the torques back into it. There we go. That's definitely as much as a long-handled 3/8 ratchet. Okay. I don't know that I have replacement gear lube. Would have been a good thing to check before we started this project. And we're back. I had to run to the store and buy gear oil. This calls for a 75/90 or an 80/90. With the play we have, I'm going to go with a 140 and maybe try to take up a little bit more slack with some viscosity. I mean, it can't hurt, right? Also, while I was there, since this is a limited slip differential on the back, I went ahead and picked this up. Couldn't get a good answer on Google whether or not I need it, but it's going to get it because, well, it's already ruined, so I can't really hurt it. Good thing is, that stuff's thinner. Goes in pretty quick. Bad news is, this stuff isn't, and it doesn't. Now, like I was saying, what we did is we tightened that pinion nut, and that did take up some of the slack, and it did that by crushing that crush sleeve more. And yes, that will help. However, what that's doing is it's also pulling that entire pinion this way. And what that's doing is pulling the pinion away from the ring, which is changing the wear pattern on this rear end, which is why this can only be a short-term fix, because it is now going to put more pressure on the outside teeth of the pinion and the ring, because we can pulled it all this way. Now, if this is like a 1-ton truck or a 3/4 ton, or we were towing and hauling all the time, I wouldn't do this. Not for long. I would still do it. Okay, I would still do it, but not for long. But seeing as how this is a 1/2 ton, and I have yet to really haul anything with it, it's just hauling itself around, I feel comfortable going on the outside of those teeth for now. It's not a great idea. It's not my best idea. But it works. I don't have time to replace it, and I still need it as a vehicle, especially if I can get the gear loop to stay into the rear end. There we go. That's better. Oh, is that it? Are we close? Oh, we're there. Yeah, that's us. We're there. Finishing this project just in time. Quit dripping on me! Why am I getting like a headwind full of grease? That's today, I guess. Some days, you get a headwind full of grease. It's honestly probably okay. If anything, it's worn a horrible pattern onto those teeth already, and this will be going in a newer spot that's not so worn. And that's what I'm going to tell myself, that we have improved it by finding the failure and ignoring it, basically. Now that I'm getting rained on and gear lube in the face, and I've got all this back together, we're going to call it a day. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or at least comment and tell me what an idiot I am. That's fine too. And, well, as long as this doesn't explode and kill me on the highway, we'll see you next time.